Tomorrow is chasing new adventures and following them everywhere. Fly Emirates. Hello, tomorrow.
The Supreme Court rejected a request by the petitioners to withdraw 4 fundamental rights petitions filed claiming that the appointment of the Parliamentary Select Committee to consider the charges against former Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike was unconstitutional.
The petitioners sought permission to withdraw the cases as the Supreme Court had deemed the appointment of the Parliamentary Select Committee as unconstitutional. Objecting to this, Deputy Solicitor General Savindra Fernando pointed out that as the petitions had been filed citing public interest, they could not be allowed to be withdrawn. The case was brought before a 5-member panel consisting of Salim Marzook, Chandrayaka Nayaka, Satya Hettige, Eva Vanasundara and Rohini Marasinghe. The Deputy Solicitor General further noted that the 3-member bench that considered prior petitions against the PSC had provided constitutional interpretation and therefore a 5-member panel remained poised to consider the case and make corrections. The panel, which accepted the Deputy Solicitor General's facts, decided to refuse the withdrawal of the petitions filed. Meanwhile, the fundamental rights petition filed by the Centre for Policy Alternatives Executive Director challenging the appointment of Chief Justice Mohan Piris was brought before the 5-member panel today. The lawyer appearing for the petitioner, M.A. Sumandiran, requested the case to be brought before a panel consisting of all Supreme Court judges excepting the Chief Justice Mohan Piris. The Supreme Court deemed the request impractical and said that one judge was ill, while 3 others had provided constitutional interpretation in this case, thus making them unable to sit on the bench. However, the lawyer pointed out that the present bench has been appointed by the Chief Justice. Meanwhile, the appeal filed by the Attorney General against the verdict handed down by the Court of Appeal favouring Shirani Bandaranaike was also brought before the 5-member panel. Hearings of the petition were postponed until the 26th of July, while the hearings of the petition filed in connection with the panel of judges was postponed until the 25th of August. Former Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike appeared before the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption this morning to make a statement relating to an investigation of her assets. The Commission had recorded statements on the same matter from the former Chief Justice on an earlier occasion as well. Meanwhile, international media reports say that lawyers from more than 50 countries are calling for Commonwealth nations to boycott this year's Heads of Government meeting in Sri Lanka. Speaking to Australia's ABC Radio, the Vice President of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Alex Ward, pointed out that the controversial removal of Sri Lanka's Chief Justice shows a lack of judicial independence and transparency.
You'd say, now that's a very serious thing to sack your Chief Justice. The impeachment proceedings were flawed in the view of people because people left and wouldn't have anything to do with them. And then a court subsequently ruled it was inappropriate. And that's been ignored by the government. If you're going to sack the judges who rule against the government, then we see that as a proper basis for you to be excluded and for us to stop dealing with you officially. Now, there's a couple of issues. The important one is the rule of law, a bit more important to the lawyers. You sack the Chief Justice, suddenly you're losing that independent umpire, the one that says to the government, you're doing the wrong thing, the government says, yes, we will abide your decision. But you have that on top of the human rights issues, which, as you rightly say, are difficult to assess because it's saying we're not going to let you come in and assess them. So I think either of those by themselves are sufficient. Here you've got the two together.